Alright, so we're back once again, and today we're going to be going through, well, we're going to be going through this ship. This ship being the Fredrich Der Große. Now, the way I like to think about the Fredrich Der Große is, it's kind of like a speed bump, if speed bumps were like walls. You know, like you're traveling on Autobahn and then you hit the Fredrich Der Große on the way to the Große curve first. That's what I think of when I think of the Fredrich Der Große. Now, that being said, there's been a couple of tweaks to the ship. It's been improved a little bit, so it isn't as much of a wall as it used to be. But that being said, that's today's ship, and I was in two minds to actually want to play this ship, but I realized that if I'm ever going to get to the Große curve first, which even in itself is not that much of a reward, then I need to just buckle down, play through the ship, and get through it. And that was my mindset coming into this game. But as the game went on, I kind of started to appreciate the ship a hell of a lot more. And I think I might have underestimated how much of that American buff, or the buff that increased the dispersion to that of the American battleships, actually improved the actual feeling and fun of playing this ship. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still obviously issues with the ship. And we're going to go into those a little bit later, but I just want to take a second to actually say something good about this ship, and maybe the German line in total, is that it isn't anywhere near as bad as it used to be. I would see our Akazuki just narrowly miss those torps. We do get 2 citadels, which is nice, which I attribute to that German dispersion buff. Also the fact that he's 10 kilometers away. Now at this point, I'm in kind of two minds. I see the torps coming from my left. There's obviously torps ahead of me, but they're not going to hit me. And I'm also getting absolutely ass blasted by 2 battleships and the Alaska on my left hand flank. Now, you might be thinking, what would a smart person do here? Or, you know, someone with average intelligence. Well, they turn to the right. That way dodging both the shells from the Jean Bart and the Fredrich Der Große, and also the torpedoes coming straight at him. But no, we're not smart here, are we? No, instead, I just keep going straight forward like a clown. And I end up taking about 40k damage as a result. Now, we do dodge the torps, which is always nice. I don't have to use my damage con, but again, this turnout's way too late. This way too late. And it harps back to what is so important on battleships, situational awareness. And I was just devoid of any of that this game. That being said, now we're playing just a chasing game right now. They're pushing in, I'm pulling back. I'm the only battleship on this flank, so again, I can't do all that much. I'm just going to shoot, stay angled, hope I don't take too much damage. If I start getting down too low, I'm just going to stop shooting completely and try and go dark, which isn't easy on this ship. Again, another thing I hate about this ship, well, maybe not hate, but strongly dislike, is the fact there's an 18.5 kilometer range, but the detection range is actually massive. It's 15.1 kilometers. So that gives you like a corridor of about 3.4 kilometers where you can actually shoot stuff, which isn't all that massive, especially when you're considering you have ships with the Azumo. I think the Azumo stock is like 19.9 kilometers, which is what, under 1.4 on top of the 18.5, which is insane. Maybe not insane, but it's actually a lot better, a lot more comfortable. You don't have to invest or be so reliant on spotting plane, especially when it takes 5 seconds to cool down. But with that being said, I think the Fredrich Der Große got a little bit in over his head, even though I think in that situation, and there you go, German dispersion, but I think in that situation he actually might have been able to push a little bit stronger. I think he could have pushed a little bit further, because if you look on the minimap, you can see the Alsace. He's pushing around that island flank, and I don't think he's in a position to actually shoot if that Fredrich Der Große was to push. Now again, that being said, if the Alsace has seen that developing, he could have just reversed. So maybe, you know, there's a lot of ifs, a lot of buts. But overall, not a terrible decision. Again, he's a little bit lucky that he didn't actually get hit by my shells. Thank you, German dispersion. And he decides to dive behind this island for some reason, but that's just gonna... See, he really messed up now. He needed to turn out there completely, because now he's in basically a possible position. If he pushes straight through those islands, there's going to be torps waiting for him. But if he stops completely and starts reversing, I have a full broadside on him. And I'm going to let you choose, or think and choose, about what's going to happen in the next minute or 2 minutes in the game. Because one of those things happens. Maybe both of them happens. We'll see. But that being said, I'm way out of position right now. I think I took backing off way too literally. And yeah, I'm way too far back. Especially for a ship like this. I have 35k HP. I should be pushing. I realize that now. And I'm immediately turning around to actually start pushing in. I've been playing IGN battleships for way too long. Because I'm literally on the J line. Trying to actually play... trying to play like a long-range sniper in a battleship that's basically a brawler. So again, it's just about adjusting to different ships and definitely getting used to them. That being said, the Jumpard's pushing in here against the Alsace, which isn't ever a good idea. Mostly due to the fact that whoever blinks first loses generally in those scenarios where you're like head on. Where you're head on and there's like an island between you. If you push first, oof, get a tasty salvo on the Jambard. Thank you, German dispersion. If you push first in that scenario, you're giving up broadside regardless. So, whatever it is, you automatically stick in reverse. Or you just don't go for that situation. Because you're almost always, if the enemy player is competent, you're going to end out the loser. Now, with that being said, again, what we said was going to happen happened. The Fredrich Der Große decided to give us full broadside. He started to reverse. We didn't get one. We did get one over pen, but again, not a perfect hit. Now I'm thinking at this point, oh, the Fredrich Der Große, he's going to push forward. I'm not going to get anything on him. It's fine. And that's what I think's happening until. Wait for it. Wait for it. Keep waiting. Look who pops up and starts reversing. And this time somehow I don't think the German dispersion is going to let us down. No, it's going to be the German damage. We get four penetrations and we do about 13,000 damage when he had 14,000 with damage with repair party actually activated. But that being said, it's a decent little salvo. He knocks out one of our guns. I'm not too worried about that. And we're now free to actually push. Now, as we thought, somehow the Jambard managed to kill the Alsace, but it could have been a combination of things with the George and the Jambard, so we're not going to actually delve too deep into that because I didn't actually see what happened. But generally in this scenario, the Jambard should die because he's... Look at the position. If the Alsace was alive right now, look at the position of the Jambard. He's exposing full broadside. And I don't care how many turrets you have in the front of your ship, exposing that much broadside, it's a clown move, an absolute clown move. But that being said, it paid off for him somehow. And yeah, so we're pretty far behind, and this game is definitely not looking all that good. So we're just going to push in, try and get a cap, and then, again, if I get in, and we get B, then I'm immediately going to have to dodge out and start turning away, because I can't handle a Georgia, a Jambard, and a Jambard, and an Alaska coming straight at me. Now, that being said, this is obviously my replay, and I want to start reviewing other people's replay. So, eventually, sometime in the future, I'm probably going to set up like an email address, and where you can actually email me your replays, or really good games, or really bad games, and I can go through them and try and learn from them, and maybe holy shit, there's a lot of torpedoes. Thank God I had hydroacoustic up. As soon as I saw the torpedo icon show up, I immediately turned left, so we only ate one torp, which is pretty good. But getting back to it, I'm probably going to set up an email address probably next week or so. So if you have any replays, I'll probably leave it down in the description, and you can email me them, and I might feature them on the channel. If there's really good learning experiences from them, all the better. Or if it's just a really good game, all the better. So that being said, we do get an 18k salvo. We're up to 106k damage now, which is pretty nice. Now this is a beautiful scenario. This is an absolutely beautiful scenario to be in. We've got the Alaska basically free hittable. We show a little bit too much to the Jambard. And we get an 8k salvo on the Georgia, which could have been obviously a lot better. And again, the thing not many people take into consideration, you have to be really wary of Not just your elevation vertically, but horizontally too. You can't just blindly rely on the timer on the aiming rectangle. You actually have to take into consideration how fast the ship's moving, and you can do that by the smokestack. Oh, that was really nice by him. But again, I did the same mistake again as I did at the start of the game. I did not turn out. I did not respect the enemy ships that I was showing broadside to. But yeah, you can generally tell by the smokestack. See it right here now, I can tell the Alaska's going full speed. 100% he's going full speed, just by the angle of the smokestack. Now, I fear this might be the end for my ship, mostly due to the fact that they have the Fletcher and the Otago right in front of me. Although I can probably take out one of those ships. And then, now this would be a really good scenario for Hydro, but at the same time, I'm so low that it's probably not going to make all that much of a difference. So my thoughts here are basically, if I can get angled effectively, if I can just about manage to swing the ship out, I might have a chance of like running away and you know, dealing damage that way. But again, the Fletcher pops up, the Otago pops up, and at this point I know my days are numbered. The Fletcher gets away with 76 HP, which means I have to burn another shot on him, which means I only have 2 left over for the Otago. His torps are laughably out of range. And one thing I haven't mentioned about the Fredrich Der Große is that the reload's actually surprisingly really decent. I mean, I'm not entirely 100% sure about the comparison to other ships, but it actually feels in-game really nice and really consistently low. We do get the Confederate, which is nice, but we do go down. Again, our aiming could be a little bit better, so we could have got a couple of Citadels on the Otago and maybe taken him down, but you know, you can't have everything in a game. Whoa, that's that. Was I having a seizure or something? Anyways, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little replay. It's a bit of a short video, but I thought I may as well get something out there. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one.